You fall asleep for 5 hours. You wake up alert, calm, sharp. No heavy head, no fog. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a quiet question starts to whisper. Why do I feel better than people who slept 8 hours? Most people never ask that question out loud because they've been taught something sacred. More sleep equals more health. Less sleep means damage, burnout, weakness. But this is where it turns unsettling, because psychology has noticed something uncomfortable. A small group of people don't follow that rule. They sleep less, yet they wake up fresh, focused, almost untouched by the night. And the reason has very little to do with productivity hacks or morning routines. It has everything to do with how their mind works when the lights go off. Here's the truth most people ignore. Sleep isn't just rest. It's a psychological process. And for many people, it's not peaceful at all. When you sleep, your mind doesn't shut down. It turns inward. It replays. It cleans up emotional messes you avoided during the day. Regrets, fears, unspoken anger, old memories that still sting. For some people, sleep is emotional labor. And this is the part most people never realize. If your mind carries unresolved tension, it needs more time at night to process it, more hours to sort through the noise, more cycles to calm itself down. But some people don't carry that same weight.
They don't ruminate the same way. They don't replay conversations on loop. They don't punish themselves with past mistakes at 2 a.m. Their mind reaches stillness faster. And because of that, their sleep is deeper, not longer. This is where psychology gets uncomfortable, because it suggests that sleep length isn't the real variable. Mental load is. People who wake up fresh on less sleep often have one thing in common. They mentally close doors. They don't leave emotional tabs open. They say what they feel, or they accept what they can't change. Their mind doesn't drag unfinished business into the dark, and that changes everything. But there's another layer, a darker one. Some people don't sleep long because their nervous system never fully relaxes, yet somehow they still wake up energized. Why? Because they're not resting, they're resetting. Their brain switches quickly between states, alert to rest, rest to alert. Psychology calls this efficient regulation, but it often comes from a life where staying sharp was necessary. People who grew up needing awareness, people who learned early to read rooms, to stay emotionally guarded, to function even when tired, their brains adapted. And now, sleep doesn't pull them deep for long. It dips them just enough, then bring them back.
But don't mistake this for superiority, because here's the part no one talks about. Waking up fresh on less sleep doesn't mean you're immune. It means your mind has learned how to survive pressure, and survival skills always come with a cost. These people often feel calm on the surface, but I struggle to fully relax. They're good at switching on, bad at switching off. Sleep becomes efficient, not comforting. And this is where a dangerous myth forms. Others look at them and think, I wish I needed less sleep. I wish I could function like that. But they don't see what happens in silence. They don't see the emotional numbness that can creep in, the way rest becomes shallow, the way stillness feels unfamiliar. And here's another disturbing insight. Some people sleep less because their sense of time is different. They don't cling to the day. They don't dread the night. Their identity isn't tied to exhaustion or struggle. They don't need sleep as an escape. For many people, sleep is a relief. It's the only time they're not expected to perform, not judged, not anxious. So of course they need more of it. But if you don't use sleep to hide, if you don't use it to avoid waking life, your body doesn't beg for it the same way. And this is where it gets personal.
If you wake up fresh on less sleep, ask yourself something honestly, not proudly, not defensively. What does your mind do during the day that others postpone until night? Do you confront instead of suppress? Do you detach instead of obsess? Do you accept instead of resist? Or did you simply learn to stay functional under pressure even when tired? Because those are very different reasons. And psychology makes one thing clear. Needing less sleep is not always a gift. Sometimes it's a signal of emotional efficiency or emotional armor. Both wake you up early. Only one lets you rest deeply. So the next time you open your eyes after 5 hours and feel strangely clear, don't celebrate too quickly. Don't panic either. Just listen, because the way you sleep is often the clearest reflection of how you carry your life when you're awake. And that realization, once you see it, it is very hard to unsee.